Hey guys, doing Eric here. Today's Wednesday, August 2nd, 2017. Nice morning up here in Gilpin County. So yeah, I did a video a while back where I mentioned Disney. Yeah, all the research I've been doing the last couple of days, man, phew, I couldn't even begin to cover it all in one video. It goes so fucking deep with this Disney thing. It's quite fascinating. So yeah, let's get into it. Where did I start? About when I was a kid, you know, I grew up with Disney, man, you know, like most people in America does. It was a big part of my life as a kid. I remember my uncle used to babysit me when I was real little before I started going to school. And he had a whole bookshelf. And there was a bunch of books on there, a bunch of Disney books. And I remember looking at those as a young kid, you know, like Peter Pan. That was a big one. There's a lot of fucking evil shit in Peter Pan. Skulls and pirates, and just Peter Pan himself is really an evil character. He's Pan, you know. Is a evil character from mythology. But yeah, so yeah, when I was a kid, you know, I was into Disney. I remember every Sunday we would watch The Wonderful World of Disney, and it was like, wow. We looked forward to it every week, every Sunday night. The Wonderful World of Disney would come on, and you know, we'd all gather around the TV, and the opening, you know, would come on with the music. Da 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 da, la 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 la. And then, you know, Tinkerbell would come out and fly over the castle and wave her magic wand, and it would be like fireworks, and it was like, oh, it was magical when you were a kid. It was very, very addictive, all the Disney stuff. And I watched, when I got a little older, I remember watching the Mickey Mouse Club back in the 70s. It was called the New Mickey Mouse Club, and I remember watching that once a week after school. And I remember getting some weird feelings. And I remember it was like almost like there was one girl on there that I had a crush on, I guess. And I guess maybe every kid my age had a crush on one of them girls. And it kind of gave me a weird sexual feeling, you know, at that age. Maybe I was like 7 or 8 years old. And, you know, I was getting kind of aroused by watching these girls dance around. It was weird. Some kind of weird feeling I always got watching Disney movies. I couldn't really explain it. But so yeah, I remember my first time going to Disneyland. I mean, I barely remember. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I didn't think it was all that great. As I recall, but anyways, yeah, I grew up in California, so I went to Disneyland a few times. God, Walt Disney himself, man, is 33-degree Freemason. He's definitely satanic. There's pictures of him dressed up like Satan and shit, you know, and I knew he was into children, but I didn't really realize how much, man, until I started doing some research on him. The guy was a fucking flaming pedophile, man. And he was into boys and girls, I think. From what I found, you know, I'm not saying it's true or not, but there's a lot of it out there on YouTube itself. There was one video I watched that claims that Walt Disney actually raped the kid who played Peter Pan, who did the voice of Peter Pan in the cartoon. Apparently, yeah, there's rumors out there that he was raped by Walt Disney when he was a little kid, and then later in life he killed himself. But yeah, Disney, man, it's like very, very evil, man. If you look into Disney, man, there's so much magic, black magic going on, witchcraft, pushing on our kids, all in the guise of, you know, wholesome G-rated entertainment. But really, if you look between the lines, man, it's all just a fucking cesspool of sex, drugs, and Satanism. In every one of his movies, every single movie is some kind of magic or sexual overtones. It's just really, and it's all based on children. Brainwashing children is what it's all about. You know, corrupting children's minds. Like, just look at all the children that started off with Disney, like in the Mickey Mouse Club. There's a bunch of them, man. dozens of kids that went on to become famous, and they were all brainwashed by the MK Ultra, and a lot of them were sex slaves and oh man, pedophilia. Club 33, it's all based on pedophilia at Disneyland. People pay $100,000 to join Club 33, and then $33,000 a year to remain a member. Yeah, and a lot of people think it's all about pedophilia, man. And they get these kids, they take them down into the tunnels of Disney, and they brainwash them, man, to become sex slaves. Every one of them, man. They're all brainwashed. MK Ultra. Just look at like Britney Spears when she lost her mind. That was based on the MK Ultra that Disney did to her, brainwashing. You know, she tried to get free of it, but it got a hold of her, and they took her back in and reinforced it. Now she's back under the spell. But yeah, it's a spell, man. Disney always talks about breaking the spell, magic spells, the magic kingdom. It's all fucking evil as hell, man. The religions, Christianity and Catholicism and all that, they said worshiping magic is like worshiping Satan, you know. So they try to get your kids to believe in their magic over their own religion. Even it becomes a religion, really. Yeah, I found out that Walt Disney was adopted as a child by a Freemasonic family. You know, when I always thought that Disney was a really good guy. You know, he plays it really good. You know, he's very soft-spoken, very kind. He looks like a really nice old guy, kind of like Mr. Rogers. You know, but yeah, he was adopted and he was raised in Freemason. You know, I thought he just kind of created Walt Disney Studios on his own. You know, and he was just into cartoons and stuff. But really, he's really was being, you know, financed by the CIA, you know, whatever government agency they had back in those days. But yeah, man, I was a Disney fan for a long time before I started seeing the truth, man. You know, one of the things I think that woke me up was that South Park episode with evil Mickey Mouse and the Jonas Brothers. That was pretty good, man. That was a good. Some of you might have seen it. It was a really good parody on Disney and the evil Disney Corporation, and Mickey Mouse ends up beating the shit out of the head of the Jonas Brothers because he doesn't want to go along with his plan. And another thing about Disney, man, they're like really greedy, and they want to own everything, and you know, they buy up all the competition, like, you know, like Pixar and Star Wars. Now they own Star Wars, and they fucking ruin that. Anyway, you know, Star Wars has always been an evil entity, just like all of Hollywood, Kabollywood. Yeah, so all these fucking middle-aged vloggers going around making a living at Disneyland, man. I think they're under some kind of a fucking spell, man. I really believe it, man. How could they not be? To just keep going on and on and on about Disney, and then their audience keeps following them. It's amazing to me, man, that these people, you know, it's got to be some kind of a fucking magic spell that they're under, you know. And they worship Walt Disney, the most fucking. But you know, he's really good at fooling people, man. You know, that's one thing. Another thing that I found out in my research, that this deception behind Disney is just like the deception of our government, man. It's, you know, it's all smoke and mirrors, man. Like they draw you in with their G-rated, wholesome goodness, and then all the subliminal messages are unleashed upon the children's minds, and then, you know, they watch these innocent kids like Miley Cyrus and them, and they grow up and they turn into these raging fucking freaks, right? Every single one of them, every single kid that came out of Disney grew up to be a fucking raging freak, man. You know, Lindsay Lohan. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So yeah, just a little bit of talk this morning about the wonderful world of Disney. I could only cover a little bit of it, man. There's so much. It goes so deep, the rabbit hole, man. All the way down to fucking Alice in Wonderland. It goes, I mean, the story is huge. I mean, it goes, I'm sure I'll be making more videos on in the future because I can't get it all into one video, everything I want to talk about. But so anyways, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. What's this stuff I'm hearing about you not wearing your purity rings, goddammit? Now you get your ass out there and make me some money. You see, if you got all these little girls reaching for your junk and you're not wearing your purity ring, that makes us look bad.